Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo. Thank you so much for sponsoring me, first of all. And if you guys would like some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. And on your next $49 plus order, you can get 5% off with the code MEME. And if it's $99 plus, you can get 10% off with the same code MEME. MEME. Anywho, roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is King Weaves here, and this is what if Naruto had a tragic past, and this is part 2. Last time we left off with Naruto and Team 7 actually about to begin the second part of the Chunin exams, the Forest of Death. They are about to enter. Of course, they get told about the rules, and after all of this, they should begin. Of course, Team 7 actually isn't in the best of relationships right now, especially because of course Naruto actually tells his team that he will go and find the scroll on his own. They should just head to the tower while he finds the scroll, and he'll be there within 30 minutes. And his team actually didn't want to argue with Naruto because they know that Naruto just won't listen to them, and in the end Naruto actually disappears before they can even say yes, thinking that Naruto will since Naruto thinks that they will have to they will do it, they just go along with it. And while they were actually heading there, of course they got attacked, and Naruto, who was actually heading back, he actually found the team straight away with the I'm not sure which scroll, but the scroll that they needed, and was heading towards the tower. But of course, while he was actually heading there, he actually came across the fight against Sasuke, Orochimaru, and Sakura. Of course, these two were struggling. Sasuke, who actually got bitten, he was barely able to stand up. Sasuke actually just persevering through the pain. He was actually trying his best to keep up, and in the end, Orochimaru was just able to overpower him. And Naruto came in out of nowhere with his two swords and using his lightning release. Of course, of course now Orochimaru was completely baffled on how Naruto was able to do this, and Naruto was like, nah fam, nah G, you ain't hurting my teammates, and the only reason he's doing that is because now Orochimaru really wasn't expecting Naruto to arrive out of nowhere, but Naruto did arrive to save his team. Of course, he didn't know his team was getting attacked or anything. However, of course, Naruto, while he was going there, he saw it, and so he needed to somehow help his team, but it doesn't really matter. Of course, Orochimaru is going to get destroyed. I'm joking. You never know. Naruto wasn't expecting someone this strong to be in the Chunin exams, and so he actually thought that it might finally be a challenge. And he was just smiling and told Sakura to take the scroll and run as far as possible, run to the finish line. Oh, well, not the finish line, to the tower. And so Sakura listens and she started running, while Naruto then looks at Orochimaru and literally says, "You're finished." And he actually uses body flicker and adds a lightning release to his two swords, which Orochimaru wasn't expecting, especially since he's not expecting anyone strong to be in the Chunin exams other than Sasuke Uchiha. He really had no other intel on any other genin. Of course, he knew about the one toes Jinchuriki, but nothing else. And also, of course, he didn't know that Naruto was going to be strong, since the nine toes is affecting his chakra, something that's what Orochimaru thought. But anyway, Naruto then started attacking Orochimaru using all types of ninjutsu, using a fireball jutsu without any hand seals, then using ultra shockwave without any hand seals, and he lightning of course using lightning release on all of his weapons, also katanas, part of weapons. But anywho, of course now Naruto, who was having no mercy against Orochimaru, he wanted to kill him, since there are no rules in the Forest of Death. Remember, killing is allowed since there are no rules. But anywho, now of course Naruto, who wanted to kill Orochimaru, especially because, you know, he endangered his team. Even though he doesn't really care about them, he doesn't want his team to die, or otherwise, you know, he wouldn't have. He doesn't know if he would pass without his team or not. But anyway, of course, Sakura and Sasuke arrived at the, you know, pretty close to the, you know, tower, but they were still pretty far away. Well, pretty close, so close but so far at the same time. But anyway, of course, now Naruto, who was about to be finished with Orochimaru, like he wasn't about to kill him or anything, but of course the fight was getting close, and Orochimaru was actually, well, Orochimaru's body, the one that he was in right now, it was coming to its limits, and, you know, Naruto realized that this Genin is coming to a limitation of his power, or her power. He can't really tell. But now Orochimaru realized that he has to escape, or Naruto will actually kill him. Because Naruto has a lot of power, and, you know, he has a lot of techniques that Orochimaru has never seen people use. For example, his sword style, it's something completely different. It's more like a dual wielding from, you know, Kirito, just that he's using katanas, not actual swords, even though katanas are basically Japanese swords. But anyways, now Naruto, who actually saw that Orochimaru was actually running away. Of course, he didn't know who Orochimaru was. He just knew about that person, the Genin. He was running away, or she. He's not sure, but I'll say he. He was running away, and of course, Naruto's like, nah, fam, not today. Not today. And as he says that, he actually teleports in front of Orochimaru, and Orochimaru's like, god damn it. And basically, you know, Orochimaru has to use his reverse summon jutsu, something that he never thought that he would have to use, especially because the reverse summon jutsu is, you know, a pretty high ranking jutsu. It's not easy to learn. It's not a low ranking jutsu like let's say the body flicker, or, you know, the clone jutsu. Even the body flicker is pretty low tier compared to the reverse summon jutsu, since it's basically the summoning jutsu, but you're reversing it, so you're summoning yourself somewhere else. But anyway, now of course Naruto, who has been fighting for a while, he actually realized that his team must be pretty far, and once he arrives, he actually sees, and just saying, this fight took a lot longer than in the original. It didn't take like a few minutes, and then they escape because Orochimaru has had enough. But Naruto was having fun, and so he took a bit longer, and in the end, you know, now Naruto arrives to see that Sakura was actually struggling against the you know, some other Genin, and she really had no chance, especially because of their immense amount of power. And, you know, Naruto had to come in to save her, and of course cut down all of them. And Sasuke, who of course fainted even later than in the original. Remember, he kept fighting, and then was fully out of power. And as soon as Naruto arrived, he you know, he got knocked out. Of course, now Sasuke hasn't awoken yet, and Naruto had to take on a pretty nerfed sound 4, or the sound 4 sound trio, because of you know, Sakura being able to punch the living hell out of them. But anyway, of course, now after all of this, you know, Naruto was able to finish the fight off pretty easily, and you know, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto were able to get to the, you know, finishing line, or the tower where they're meant to open the scrolls. And of course, once they open the scrolls, you know, Iruka comes out, and, you know, Naruto just walks away and tells Iruka about the seal, and Iruka actually tells Kakashi about it, and, you know, Kakashi has to do something about it, and so he seals the curse mark away. And then a few days later, you know, Naruto hasn't talked to Team 7 at all after that day. Of course, the preliminaries begin, and Naruto is ready for the preliminaries. He's rested enough, and now, of course, Kiba against Naruto wasn't going to be a pretty match, especially because of Naruto being extremely stronger, like exponentially stronger than Kiba. It's actually unfair, like putting Naruto up against Kiba right now. It's just it's a death match. It's a death match. It's literally putting a toddler up against a fucking adult. Like, you can't do that. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, who wants to destroy Kiba. He doesn't really want to kill him or anything, but of course he wants a good fight. And since Kiba is known to be pretty strong, out of the Genin, out of the Rookie Nine. Well, right now, of course, there are people stronger than him, like Naruto, uh, Sasuke, Shino. Shino is actually more skilled than Kiba. We can see that since Kiba cannot put up a fight against Kankuro. There's no way. And of course, Shikamaru could outsmart him too. But anyways, of course, Shikamaru can outsmart anyone, to be honest. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, who of course obliterated Kiba. Kiba was fully out, like literally he got knocked out easily by Naruto. But anywho, of course, after all of this, Naruto actually takes Kiba to the stands. Of course, he doesn't want to get too friendly with Kiba, and so he just drops him there, and then actually leaves. He doesn't want to watch the next few fights. And of course, here the double knockout will still happen between Sakura and because I'll say that actually trained a bit. I don't want to really change too much of the original fights. And anyway, of course, Naruto wasn't there to see the massacre that went down against Hinata, and so he didn't make no blood oath. But still, he knows about Neji, and of course he's been told by Sakura and Sasuke that he'll be fighting Neji, since he wasn't there to actually see the matchups. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, and Naruto actually goes off on his 1 month training. And here I'll have to cover the 1 month training thoroughly, especially because Naruto gets an exponential boost from this, and plus it's a lot different from the original, because of Naruto not wanting to get close to anyone, and so he didn't ask anyone for training. No Kakashi, he didn't ask Kakashi to train him, or Ibisu. Ibisu, is that how you say it? Is that his name? I'm pretty sure he is. I mean, he's a pretty relevant character. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, who he's training on his own, still goes down to the village to get some food, especially because he hasn't had food in a while. And anyways, of course, he's eating, and someone actually joins. He actually sits next to him and actually eats with Naruto, and Naruto's like, who are you? And Jiraiya's like, oh, me? I'm just a nobody, you don't need to worry about me. And Naruto's like, alright, I'm going. And then Jiraiya's like, perhaps is your name Naruto Uzumaki? And Naruto's like, yeah. Of course, Jiraiya actually knew of Naruto's childhood and how he went, of course, since the Hokage actually warned Jiraiya that Naruto is not the normal kid, and that he is a lot different from other people. And Jiraiya wasn't expecting Naruto to be that different, especially because Naruto is Minato's son, and thought that Naruto might get some traits off of Minato. But of course he did at the beginning. Of course he had that positive look on his face, but now Naruto always has a pretty depressed face on, and literally every time he walks around, people can see that Naruto is pretty sad, especially because of his childhood, and people actually know about it. And some people just laugh at Naruto's face. Some people are sympathetic. Some people do want to be sympathetic, but after finding out of what happened to the people who tried to be helpful to Naruto and tried to help Naruto, they're like, nah, I'm good, I ain't dying today. Anyway, of course, Naruto, who told Jiraiya that he needs to go train. He has no time to socialize, and especially because Naruto doesn't want to get close to anyone, since he thinks that they're going to die. And so he breaks off the hold and tells that Jiraiya that he's going. And Jiraiya then says, how you're training right now, it won't get you anywhere. And Naruto's like, does it really matter? I don't really care. Even if it doesn't get me anywhere, it doesn't matter. After all, I won't be a ninja for too long. I'll die probably soon, just like the people who got close to me. It's inevitable. Everyone dies when they get close to me. How am I still alive? There must be a day where I die. So it really doesn't matter to me. I'll just try my best on my own, and then one day just finish it all. by dying in a fight. But anywho, I'll be going now. And Jiraiya realizes that Naruto is kind of weird, like not that weird, but he isn't like a normal shinobi at all, and so he just follows him around for the next week. And Naruto's like, "What do you want from me? I don't understand. Do you need something?" And Jiraiya's like, "I just wanted to train you, to be honest." And Naruto's like, "You really want to die, don't you?" And then Jiraiya's like, "I wouldn't say I want to die, but I guess we can't really know. I might die too. So why shouldn't I train you? After all, I'm going to die just like you one of these days." And Naruto's like, "You know what? Come on then. Let's see what you can train me then, what you can teach me then." And Naruto is actually accepting it because he can feel something, from from Jiraiya. He has never, met someone like Jiraiya before, but Jiraiya just wants to train him for some reason. And it's more than like the Hokage. The Hokage wanted to help Naruto, while Jiraiya actually just wants to train Naruto because it's just how he is, and Naruto can tell. And anywho, now of course, once Naruto actually begins the training with Jiraiya, you know after he begins the training with Jiraiya, within a day he actually masters the summoning jutsu. But anywho, after all of this, Naruto, after that first day of training, Naruto actually tells Jiraiya that, is he sure about this? And then Naruto tells him, have you never heard of the stories that go around? And and Jiraiya's like, why should I believe stories when I have the real deal in front of me? And Naruto says, fair enough. And so they actually continue their training. And Naruto learns a few things. Since Naruto is already skilled enough to learn a few higher ranking techniques like the Rasengan, it's much easier for Naruto to learn the Rasengan, and it takes him less than 3 days. But anyways, after all of this, Naruto, who finished his a week training with Jiraiya a few days later, so it took him less than a week, like 6 days, to master the Rasengan. But anywho, now after this week, Naruto has 2 weeks left, and these next 2 weeks Naruto actually learns about the Rasengan not being a finished or a complete jutsu, a better way to say. It's not a complete jutsu, and so Jiraiya tells Naruto that he can improve the Rasengan by completing it and adding a chakra nature to it, which would make the Rasengan way stronger than what he already is. And Naruto's like, I can make the Rasengan stronger. And Naruto is already like, he knows that the Rasengan is one of the strongest techniques that he knows. It's an A rank technique. Even though he has higher ranking techniques, he knows that this technique can become an S rank technique, especially if it becomes much stronger than an S rank technique. It definitely will become an S rank technique. But anyway, now after all of this, Naruto has finally decided, finished his 1 month training with Jiraiya. And Naruto and Jiraiya actually have a good relationship now. Before it was kind of more like a Jiraiya bugging Naruto a relationship, but now it's more like Naruto actually enjoying the company of Jiraiya. And it's one guy that hasn't died within the first 2 hours of meeting Naruto, like the person that came from a different from somewhere else, just visiting the village and dying after feeding him. Jiraiya has survived for a month. But anyway, Naruto has proof that people have died even months later after meeting him, or after talking to him or getting close to him. But anyway, Naruto believes that Jiraiya might be the first person ever to survive getting close to him, or getting friendly with Naruto. But anyway, after this, Jiraiya actually tells Naruto that he cannot be there to actually spectate his Chunin exams. He would like to, but it's just that he has work to do. And so Naruto doesn't really mind, since Jiraiya has done a lot for him already, and so he doesn't want to bug him anymore, and tells him that he doesn't need to be there to watch him. It's just the Chunin exams, and plus he might even fail, and if he does, he doesn't want to really make Jiraiya see that and waste his time just watching him fail. Anyway, of course, now Naruto actually goes to the Chunin exams, and his fight is first. Of course, it's Naruto versus Neji, and Naruto annihilates Neji. literally has no mercy upon Neji, and it's not even a fair fight, to be honest. Like, Neji may be strong, but after all of this, Neji thought that Naruto was weak, and he had no chance of beating someone like him, since Neji is a prodigy and everything. He's like destined to be like the strongest ever. But of course, Naruto, who was meant to be a failure, everyone thought Naruto would fail in life, has just proven him wrong, which just proves proves the fact that it's not like, how he thinks, it's just not it. Like, literally, you can't be thinking like that. And so this changes Neji's view on life itself. But anyway, after all of this, Naruto and Naruto watches the next fight, which is actually Shikamaru versus Temari, and this one was really entertaining. Naruto actually knows Shikamaru, since Shikamaru did try to make friends, and still sometimes actually socializes with Naruto, but of course Naruto just ignores him. And after all of this, Naruto and Naruto is perplexed on how Temari could have lost that. It was really easy to beat Shikamaru, but of course not. Even Naruto would get outsmarted by Shikamaru. Of course not get beaten, because just sheer power, Naruto would just destroy him. And plus Naruto's actually smart here, remember, and so you could have an argument. But anywho, of course, after all of this, Naruto then is waiting for Sasuke, because Shino's fight was basically cancelled, since Kankuro just gave up on the spot. And so now Shikamaru, Sasuke versus Gaara begins, and it begins with what's his name? It begins with Sasuke actually appearing first of all, because he wasn't even in the Chunin exams in the first place, and now he just arrived. But anyways, of course, after all of this, Sasuke actually finally arrived. Took him long enough, and begins the fight with Shikamaru. Begins the fight with Gaara, and after all of this, Sasuke does really good against Gaara. He actually gets a lot of shots onto Gaara, and Gaara just can't handle all of it, especially because of Sasuke just being so much stronger than him in sheer power. But of course, in the end, Sasuke whips out the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Sasuke wasn't even using his Sharingan, and just without the Sharingan, he was literally annihilating it. And now it's Naruto versus well, not Naruto. Of course, Sasuke whips out the Sharingan, beats Gaara a bit more, and Gaara gets more pissed, and as soon as he stabs Gaara in the shoulder, Gaara just goes rampage. And after all of this, Sasuke actually uses the thing that he learned from Naruto. Basically, he actually copied Naruto and then created his own cloak, and this cloak is literally the lightning cloak that Naruto has, and you could even the Raikage has it basically. But anyway, after this, Naruto and Team 7, Team 7 is actually sent to actually retrieve Sasuke, because of Sasuke going to fight Gaara when he's not meant to. He's not meant to go and fight Gaara, especially because Gaara is so much stronger than him now because of his One Tail's transformation. Of course, he's only half Shikaku form, but still, Sasuke follows him and gets destroyed. Like, it's not even fair. And Naruto comes in to save the day. Of course, this time Shikamaru wasn't even woken up. Naruto just decided to go on his own. He didn't want to disturb anyone, and Sakura, of course, was following him. But by the time Sakura actually arrived, she caught up to Naruto, since Naruto wasn't going full speed like he should have been should have done. But anywho, of course, Sakura caught up to Naruto, and after catching up to Naruto, she actually realized that there are people following Naruto, her and Naruto, and so she actually told Naruto that she'll stay back and take care of these a lot. And so she stayed back, and she destroyed all the sound shinobi that were following them. And Naruto's like, idiot, could have took them on without you having to stay back. And so he goes on his own anyway and arrives at the battlefield. Of course, he destroys Kankuro easily within one shot, and now arrives at Gaara. Temari tried to stop him, but Naruto destroyed her, and now Gaara is literally killing Sasuke, literally squeezing Sasuke to death. Sasuke was even in his curse mark 1 state, and Naruto actually decided to cut off Gaara's arm. Of course, it was just made out of sand. It wasn't actually Gaara's arm, and so it was regenerating. And and then Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke was tired, and Naruto says, Sasuke, right now we have the same amount of strength, which is a lie. It's a big lie. And Sasuke's like, are you being serious? And then Naruto says that if he fights him alone, he's going to die, and so they have to fight together. And Sasuke is already injured, but it's all right then. And this is mostly from adrenaline. Of course, Sasuke should have been out cold by now, but of course the adrenaline is boosting him, and so after this, Naruto and Sasuke begin the fight, and they start fighting together, of course, and it's not going too well for them, especially because Naruto can't really try hard. If he does, it's pretty much over. Sasuke will find out about his true strength, and Naruto is mostly hiding this power because he doesn't want Sasuke to get jealous, and that is something that he realized Sasuke does. Yeah, Sasuke does get jealous, and Naruto has noticed that a long time ago. But anyway, and now Naruto and Sasuke, well, Sasuke actually got knocked out cold, and right before that he actually got a good Chidori in, and Gaara actually went full power rage mode and actually destroyed well, actually went into his Shikaku form, and Naruto then says, alright then. And Sasuke still was awake, and Naruto told Sasuke to run because this fight is over, and Naruto has a technique that he doesn't want to use, especially because it takes a lot of chakra out of him, and it's something that he hasn't fully mastered yet. So this is the first time he's doing it, and that is a complete lie. And Sasuke is like, just do it, and basically he uses the summoning jutsu, and Sasuke realizes that Naruto had this hiding, but of course he doesn't get jealous because Naruto did say that he barely had any chakra left, and this was literally a fluke. He wasn't meant to pull this off because he was low on chakra, and he barely got this off. And yeah, and Sasuke then actually came on the told with Naruto, and then basically Sasuke told him that he won't be able to hold Gaara down, especially because the Toad doesn't have claws like Gaara. And so Naruto then says, okay, I'll Sasuke, can you do the transformation jutsu? And of course Gamabunta's like, why should I work with this one? And he doesn't want to work with Sasuke, especially because Sasuke is a Uchiha, and Shikamaru, Orochimaru, well, he reminds him of Orochimaru, especially because he can feel the chakra coming from the curse mark, something that the Toads can feel, especially because of them being able to sense sage chakra. And anyway, after this, Naruto just says, listen, we don't have time here. You want the village to get destroyed, and so Gamabunta just follows their orders, and in the end they were able to beat him together. And Sasuke doesn't get jealous, and so his curse mark stays normal. But anyway, now of course after this, Naruto actually did Takano Jutsu Gaara, saying that they were pretty much the same, and Sasuke understood a bit more of Naruto now, and understood a lot more of his pain. Remember at the end of Shippuden we found out that Sasuke just envied Naruto, but here Sasuke feels sympathetic because Naruto literally lost everyone just like him. The people who are actually close to him, he knew about this. Sasuke actually did hear about the people getting killed, the people who adopted Naruto getting killed, and so he felt sad. But anyway, now after this, Naruto returned to the stadium, and there was the Hokage. Of course, the Hokage still dies in the end, and Orochimaru gets taken away by the Sandfall, and Naruto's like, god damn it, of course, even the Hokage. And then Sasuke actually holds Naruto's shoulder, saying that, Naruto, listen, it's not your fault. I know what you might be thinking. Everyone who gets close to you dies, but that's a lie. You don't understand yet. But look, me, Kakashi Sensei, and Sakura, we've got close to you, and we haven't died yet, have we? And Naruto's like, alright then. And then even then Sasuke actually brings up the fact that even the villagers are pretty much close to Naruto, especially because even though they hate him, you know, they still were near Naruto. They didn't like literally avoid Naruto. They did beat him up, so technically they were close to Naruto, since he was their punching bag and everything. But anywho, of course, Naruto understood this and he's like, oh, that's pretty smart of you, Sasuke. But anywho, of course, after this, Naruto and Sasuke went up and with Kakashi and saw that the Hokage is dead, and they realized that Orochimaru was the one to actually give the curse mark to Sasuke, and so they didn't want to. They actually put a stronger seal on Sasuke, and then they had the funeral of the Hokage, and Jiraiya returned, of course. But anyways, of course, after all of this, Naruto and Jiraiya were actually going to go out to find Tsunade because of the Hokage being missing, and Naruto actually wanted to go because he still wanted to train with Jiraiya, since Jiraiya had a lot of techniques that Naruto really liked, and he kind of he's actually thinking that maybe he's not a curse after all, and he's thinking differently for once, and yeah. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, who was with Jiraiya now, he didn't really mind traveling with Jiraiya. But anywho, of course, the Akatsuki still attacked the village, and they weren't having any mercy at all, and Kakashi still was putting the Tsukuyomi. But here, Sasuke, who was actually finally found Itachi, and they found Naruto in the hotel room. Of course, Naruto told Sasuke to wait, and Sasuke here actually respects Naruto for especially because he thinks they're equals, but of course Naruto is much stronger, and so Naruto actually body flickers next to Sasuke and tells Sasuke that they have to fight together, and so they begin to fight together. And anywho, of course, here Naruto and Sasuke actually blitz Kisame, and they both kick him because they know that Itachi is too strong. And so Kisame, while he was actually Itachi actually told Kisame before they began the fight that not to kill Sasuke but to injure him if he has to. And when he got kicked, he actually sliced the Sasuke's chest, and Naruto, Sasuke was on the floor bleeding, and that hurt Itachi himself, but Naruto was pretty pissed, and he actually thought of Sasuke as a friend here, and he actually went on a rampage and literally destroyed Kisame, and with his two swords and his lightning release, and really had no chance against him. Even though he had no chance, he turned the tables around. But anyways, after this, Itachi tried to escape with Kisame, but as he was trying, Naruto was about to slice him, but then Itachi turned into crows and took Kisame away because Kisame was actually injured. And then Might Guy and Jiraiya appeared, and of course they asked what happened, and Naruto told everything. And here, Sasuke woke up, and basically Naruto just said that they arrived, and the two Akatsuki members escaped. And then Sasuke is taken back to the village, especially because his wound needs proper treatment, not just bandages. And then after this, Naruto and Kakashi, oh my days, Naruto and Jiraiya find Tsunade a few days later. And of course here Tsunade does badmouth the Hokage, but here Naruto keeps his cool and says, I'm sure you can't do it, and half of what the Hokage have ever accomplished in their lives, so shouldn't you be embarrassed, since you're a legendary son and everything, and you're meant to be strong as a Hokage, one of the Kages. And Tsunade then says, listen kid, I never said I was stronger than any of the Hokage, and so I don't really care. They can die for all I care. And then Naruto then says, weren't you the granddaughter of the first Hokage? Shouldn't you have at least some love for the village? And then Tsunade is like, who are you to talk? I don't even know who you are. And Naruto's like, I don't really care if you know who I am. I'm just here to bring you back to the village, and then my job is done. So how about you just return and make my life easier? And Tsunade's like, who do you think you are, kiddo? And basically Naruto's like, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. And Tsunade actually recognizes the Uzumaki name, and she's like, "Oh, so you're an Uzumaki? You must have a lot of chakra." Then and Naruto's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can beat you." And Tsunade's like, well, "Would you say?" And Naruto's just provoking her to actually, since Naruto's smart here, he actually did hear about Tsunade being addicted to gambling, and she's a bad gambler in the first place. And Naruto sees that Naruto knows that he pretty much has no chance against Tsunade, especially close range. And Naruto currently is actually known to be a close range fighter, especially because of the Rasengan and his sword style and everything. So if he gets punched once by one of Tsunade's strong punches, it's pretty much over for him. And so he actually takes this opportunity to actually fight Tsunade here. So she can't really go all out, since she's drunk and she doesn't know what she is doing. And anywho, of course, then they actually take her outside. The Naruto makes a bet with her. If he wins, Tsunade comes back to the village with him and Jiraiya. And if she wins, they leave her alone forever. And Tsunade accepts, and in the end, Naruto has no mercy. And since Tsunade was being cocky, she didn't realize that Naruto is this good at fighting, especially close range, which is her speciality. And Naruto took advantage and capitalized on the fact that she was drunk. And Shizune actually realized that, and she wanted to tell Tsunade, but she didn't actually mind returning to the village. And plus, remember, Tsunade needs to stop her gambling, and being the Hokage would be a good way to stop that. Anyway, of course, now Naruto returns to, of course, well, he actually beats Tsunade. He has her on a hold, and with a kunai to her neck. And Tsunade is like, "Damn brat, how are you so strong?" And Naruto then says, "I told you I can beat you." And of course, Naruto didn't even have to use a Rasengan here. But anyway, then after this, Tsunade then says that to give him a few days, to give her a few days. Then, and Naruto's there. All right, we can wait a few days, right? Jiraiya Sensei, and Jiraiya says, "All right then, but we can only give you 5 days." And Tsunade's that's more than enough. And in the end, Tsunade still meets Orochimaru, and here she actually did tell Jiraiya the night before, and she poisoned him. And here the fight still goes down, and Tsunade actually gets over her fear of blood, since Naruto comes in to save her. And Naruto says, "You damn idiotic old hag, you've been living more longer than me, and you make such a stupid mistake." And Tsunade was completely baffled on why Naruto would even stop Kabuto from killing her, since she was just a liability at this point. And Naruto then says, "All right then, it's you again. You're part of Orochimaru's little gang, right? Well, I won't have any mercy upon you." And in the end, Naruto kind of destroys what's his name, Kabuto, with a Rasengan. And this Rasengan actually had some wind release added to it. Of course, he didn't throw it because he doesn't know about throwing yet, and he can throw it, even though of course he would be able to throw it if he just thought of it. But right now, Naruto is just a close range, so he's just fighting how he wants to fight. And then after destroying Kabuto, Naruto, of course, still got hit on the limb with the chakra scalpels. And so Tsunade heals Naruto, and in the end, Kabuto and Orochimaru escape. And here, of course, Sasuke, who wasn't jealous at all, of course, once he woke, of course, he still got the offer from Sound 4. And Sasuke this time actually declined. And the Sound 4's like, "Oh well, I guess we'll have to take you by force." And they start actually fighting. And Sasuke has no chance here. Remember, he's still injured and he's recovering, while the Sound 4, there's 4 of them, one of him, and the Sound 4 are exponentially stronger than Sasuke. And of course, while Sasuke was struggling to fight, out of nowhere, he didn't even know Naruto was back in the village. But Naruto comes in to save the day and literally kicks the Sound 4 away. And Naruto's like, "So you're part of Orochimaru's little gang, aren't you?" And Orochimaru's henchman, that's what he says. But anyway, of course, the Sound 4's like, "It's Lord Orochimaru for you." And In the end, they actually go and attack Naruto and Sasuke, but in the end, Naruto actually stops them. But of course, Kidomaru was actually long range and actually shot a an arrow. It hit straight through Sasuke's shoulder, and Sasuke actually fainted after this, and Naruto thought Sasuke died, especially because that arrow went into speeds that even Sasuke couldn't dodge, and Sasuke had this 3-to-1 Sharingan activated, and so they actually realized that the Sound 4 are dangerous, and so he actually gets out all three of his swords for the first time, and goes into free sword style, and here Naruto actually realized that he might actually be the reason why the Sasuke keeps getting injured. First of all, he couldn't protect Sasuke from Kisame, and now he wasn't fast enough to protect him from the Sound 4. He realizes that Naruto's a liability, and so he takes him to the hospital, and Tsunade was actually healing him, and Naruto at night actually leaves a note to his team, to the Hokage and everything, and Naruto says that he loves the village and everything. He doesn't hate it at all, but he realized that he's just a pest, and every time he does something, people get hurt instead of him, and so he wants to leave, and he wants to protect the village from a distance because he doesn't want anyone else to get injured because of him. And Tsunade actually created a team of to search for Naruto, and Orochimaru hasn't given up on Sasuke, and still now Naruto, who actually already left the village, and the team was made out of Sakura, who was actually under the training of Tsunade, Sakura, Shino, Shikamaru, Choji, Neji, and also Kiba. And Sasuke wanted to go, but Sasuke was still injured, and Lee was about to do his operation. But anywho, of course, they actually did find Naruto, and Naruto was actually resting near the Valley of the End, and so they actually began a fight against Naruto. And Naruto said, told them that they all need to get stronger. None of them really match up to him, and Sakura was actually the one to do a lot more damage than anyone else there, especially because of superhuman strength, and something that she developed on her own, just like Tsunade did. So she's basically a Tsunade Junior. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, after telling Sakura that her and Sasuke have to get a lot stronger to even match up against him, then he says I'm sorry, and then actually leaves his hiding spot where he was resting, and tells her to tell the Hokage Jiraiya not to search for him, because he's going to still be a leaf shinobi and just protecting outside of it. Of course, he actually left the headband with her, with Sakura, because Naruto, even though he's still a leaf shinobi, he doesn't want to keep the headband because it's just not fair. He's not in the leaf, he's not working for the leaf directly, he's working for the leaf indirectly, so it's not his choice to keep it. And here Sasuke, of course, who Orochimaru wanted to get, of course, it's been 2 months since Naruto left. Of course, Naruto on his journey to get stronger on his own, he actually was learning a few things. He hasn't crossed anyone from the village yet, and no one from the Akatsuki, but anywho, of course, no one that he knows, of course. But anyways, of course, now Naruto, while he was traveling, he actually started training a lot harder, and yeah, he actually went to revisit Haku's grave, because Naruto wanted to say goodbye to Haku again, since, well, to pay respects to Haku, especially Naruto actually did find Haku, or did want to be friends with Haku, but of course in the end he couldn't be, because he thought he was a curse. But he's been proven wrong since Sasuke's but again, he does still believe he's a curse because of what happened to Sasuke. But anywho, Sasuke, realizing that it's his fault that Naruto left, if maybe he was there, he might have been able to save them all. But of course, then Kakashi actually tells Sasuke that Naruto has always been holding back. He's never been really trying against any of them, and even against Gaara. Sasuke, Naruto was more than strong enough to beat Gaara on his own. He was just bluffing when he told him that he was actually just as strong as Sasuke, especially because Sasuke needs to get stronger and he needs a catalyst. But anyway, of course, Sasuke decides to train even harder to, become stronger. But after a year of training, Sasuke actually realized that he's not learning too much, and in the end, actually leaves the village to actually go to Orochimaru, because of him not gaining enough strength. And that is where I'm gonna end off. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weaves there, and I hope you all enjoyed this part. This is a wave that I'm really enjoying making, especially because it's a complete different take on the story of Naruto. Sasuke didn't actually leave. He still wants to remain in the village, and he's going to work for the village indirectly by actually same as Naruto. While Sakura, of course, is still training. But anyways, of course, Sasuke wants to return one day, but he's only going to return when he actually brings back Naruto, and he's actually put his brother on hold, especially because Naruto right now is more important to him than revenge. That's something that he learned, and he knows that Orochimaru actually wants his body, and he's not going to allow that to happen, because he's going to get stronger and stronger every day until he's going to kill Orochimaru first of all, and then he's going to leave to go find Naruto. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end off. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weaves there, and don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123. Also, follow Shokin on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And join the Discord server. Links are all in the description below, and peace.